Hey everyone, I was just sitting here. What I'm doing is I'm making my granddaughter, my youngest granddaughter, gave me some patterns to make some Wellie Wishers doll dresses, because I don't have any for Wellie Wishers specific. I mean, I've got 14.5-inch doll patterns, but they're not specified for the measurements of the Wellie Wisher. And she asked me, she says, would you like to take some stuff home and you can make patterns with it? And I said, okay. And I'm going to make her a couple of outfits. And like this dress right here, she gave this to me. And I looked on, you know, I took it apart. I took the side seams apart here, you know, from the, you can see my threads are still there. I haven't taken the threads out. But it's from the waist down. And I went to go open it up, and supposedly this is something, whoops, I gotta find, hold on one second, I need to find something to hold my cover back on for my phone cover. Hold on a second. Okay, that's better. But anyhow, so I got to looking on the inside of this dress, and if this dress was bought in a store, which I know it was, this dress is not very well made. I mean, I looked at the inside of it. Now, I used my pinking shears because this stuff was fraying like crazy. And so I got my pinking shears. And the threads, I don't know how many threads that I had to cut because the manufacturer that made this dress didn't cut their threads. And so I had to do that too. So I went ahead and made a pattern for this dress. And what I did was, well, I didn't want to take it apart because I didn't want to lose all the gathering and that kind of thing, because I'm going to sew it back up and give it back to her. So what I did was I went ahead and I just drew an outline of the dress itself, just an outline. And then here's the pattern right here that I made. So here's the skirt part. Okay, and then here's the bodice. So what I did was I just drew the dress out, you know, like this. I went around and like that. And then I folded it in half. Do it this way. I folded it in half. And I got everything, you know, lined up right. Sides, the hemming area. And then I wrote my little notes, cut 1, and I'm going to do it on the fold because I only need one piece, so I'm going to be cutting it on the fold. So this is the skirt, and I made my little notes, as you can see, Wellie Wishers skirt, cut 1, and then I have an arrow going both directions, and then I wrote sew right there, and then I wrote waist right there. And then for the bodice, I went ahead and put shoulder, cut 1 on fold because it is the front piece. And then I put Wellie Wisher bodice front. And then I made one identical to it, but I raised up the neck a little bit in the back. And I cut it in 2. So here you go. So I got bodice back cut 2. And Velcro right here, and then I put shoulder and shoulder. And then for the sleeves, what I did was I pushed the sleeve to the inside like this, and then I lined it up with the shoulder and with the underarm, and then I just, you know, I drew here, and then I drew here, and that's all I did. And this is what I came up with. I think one is longer than the other. It looks like it is. It is. So let me cut this down a little bit. Okay. So anyhow, here's the 2 sleeves. And that's all I did to make a pattern. Now I'm getting ready to make another pattern because she gave me another outfit. Well, it's a tutu, you know, made out of tulle. So what I did was I took the tulle off of the elastic, and the elastic I'm not going to undo. I'm just going to fold the paper, and I'm using cardstock because it's heavy duty. It'll last a lot longer than paper. I'm pulling out my threads here. But what I did was I took the tulle off of the waistband, and the tulle is gathered. Okay, so here's the waistband, and this is exactly how I found it. Where's the back? There it is. There's the back of it right there. Okay, so it's, you know, it wasn't stretched out or anything. The tulle, like I said, was just sewn right around here, and it was sewn, let me see here, it was sewn probably about a 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the elastic, and this is 1/4 inch, I believe. Let me see, it's just a tad above a 1/4 inch. So you can use a 1/4 inch elastic if you want. I think this is like a well, it's in between a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. So anyhow, so what I'm doing now is there's 2 pieces of tulle. You've got the top piece, which is the different colored one. Then you've got a white piece underneath it, and they're both the same width and the length. And so what I was doing, I got my here it is. I got my seam ripper. Now let me see if I can turn you around a little bit so you can see this better. Here you go. So what I did was I'm just picking out the threads so I can separate the 2 skirts, because I want the full length of the tulle, because I want to I've got to gather it and everything, so I need the full length. And let me see if I can bring you down a little bit so you can see better. Yeah, here we go. Alright, now I think you'll be able to see a little bit better. Alright, so now all I do is just pull out the stitches. So I'm going to, I'm going to just put skirt on here, tulle or fabric, because it can work either way. So I do know that these will fit the Wellie Wisher dolls. I don't have a Wellie Wisher. I'm hoping maybe someday I'll get lucky and I'll find one in a thrift store. That would be nice. My granddaughter didn't live so far away. I could use hers as a model when I'm making things, even if I'm using like a generic 14.5 inch doll pattern, like from Simplicity or whatever. And they don't make a whole lot of patterns for the Wellie Wisher dolls or 14.5 inch dolls. Now I do have a 14.5 inch doll, but it's not a Wellie Wisher. I got that from a department store, Bell's Outlet. Bell's Outlet is a Florida-based store, and I think they only have stores in Florida. I need to get out and go to Sears. I heard that Sears is closing up. I don't know if they're completely closed here yet or not. The last I saw was there was a sign on the store at the mall, 70% off. So I don't know if the store is still open or not, and I haven't been in there, but I'd like to go in there. I mean, I don't shop at Sears because Sears never has anything I like, but I might find something at a really cheap price. and I could reuse it for something else. I don't know. I remember back when my kids were little in the 80s, I always used to get a JCPenney and a Sears catalog for Christmas, the Christmas catalogs. And when I was growing up, my sister and I, we were, you know, my parents, they got the catalog, well, my mother, she would get the catalogs in the mail. And I did too when I was raising my girls. And so my sister and I, we got to put check marks next to stuff that we wanted in the toy section of the catalog. And so because of that tradition, I carried that on with my children. And so every year I would get the Christmas catalogs, and they always had a Christmas toy catalog, you know, separate from everything else. And so every year I'd say, I got the new catalogs, do you want to go ahead and see what's in there? And they'd get all excited and they'd be checking stuff off. And so they didn't get everything they wanted, of course, but, you know, I tried to do a little something because I was on hard times. I was a single parent back then. But I wanted to make their Christmases happy when they were growing up. I wanted them to have something to remember. So, now, this skirt had this, you know, I guess just in case a little girl wants to put it on a hanger. So I'm going to keep that. There's two of them. Here's the other one. I'm going to keep those, and I'm going to put them on each side of the skirt. And I'm going to put in my notes on the pattern piece for the skirt how long of a trim that I need. And I've got plenty of that stuff. So, whew. How's everyone out there today? I hope you're all doing well. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday with a bad migraine. I was up until 10 o'clock last night. I can't believe. I laid down. I tried to lie down and go back to sleep. You know, take me a nap during the day and that kind of thing. And I couldn't go to sleep. I don't sleep that well during the day. Unless I'm really, really sick, like with the flu or something, then I can. Okay, so now I have it all separated. See that? So now what I'm going to do is I have some cardstock. And let me see if you can see down here. Let me see if I can lower you just a little bit more. Yeah. Sorry about that. My phone fell down. I guess I can't lower you down, can I? Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back. I measured the tulle, and it's 25 inches long. So I don't have 25 inches on this piece of cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, if I can get this thing to lay straight, is I'm doing a line at one end, and I'm doing a line at the other end. Then I'm going to get my ruler, and my arm's going to be in your way. Let me do it this way. Then I measure. So it's about 3/4 inch all the way down. So I'm just making a line. I thought I would show you this because I thought it might be something fun for you to do. And then what I'm going to do, so I don't have to make these lines all the way down, I'm going to fold this paper in half, like that. And see, there's my markings. Oh, can you see them? Yep, there's my markings. So I'm going to draw me a straight line. Let me use my Sharpie. I love these, what are they called? Fine point Sharpies. Okay, so get it lined up right, and then just draw your line. Oh, I just got a marker on my new mat. Oh well. Alright, and then what we're going to do is make sure my line is straight, and we're going to cut. Okay. Let me bring you back around this way. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write on here, Wellie Wisher, skirt. I'm going to put that it's 25 inches long, and I'm going to put at the very top, gather to elastic. Alright, so you see there, that's how I wrote it. My flap is in the way. Let me push it back up against here. Alright, but anyhow, there you go. Wellie Wisher skirt, 25-inch long, and gather, what does it say? Gather to elastic. And I'm going to put cut one, no, cut two. Cut two. So I need to cut 2. Or I can cut 3, you know, if I want to make it poofier. I'm also going to put on here, can use tulle or fabric. Like that. And then I'm also going to write, I'm going to do an arrow up and down, and I'm going to just write so. I'll know what that means. Like that. Alright, so this piece that I made is about 11 inches long. So if you don't want to do gathers, then that'd be fine too, I think. I haven't even measured this elastic yet. So let me measure this. So we will need about 3 inches of elastic, no, 6 inches of elastic. 6 inches, because I folded it in half. So we need at least 6 inches of elastic. So I am going to, again, let me see if I can get you where you can see. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it. I'm going to line up the elastic with the edge. I'm going to make a line here and a line here. And then I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to make me a line . There. And I said it was 6 inches, so I'm going to put, well, let me see how long this is. It's almost 6 inches, so I'm just going to make myself a note. 6-inch elastic guide. And then I'm going to put Wellie Wisher. So I can use this guide for anything I make, pants or whatever. So I'm going to cut this out. Alright, so I got that cut out. So, let me measure it again. Okay. Here, let me get it up here. Because I forgot that I was doing it on the fold. So, about right there's where I want it. Okay. So this is 6 inches for the elastic. And then here's the piece for the skirt. And then I've got my note here and then cut 2. And really that's all to making patterns. You know, you just take take it apart and then you make your pattern pieces. So here's my tool that my granddaughter gave me with the elastic. Where did I put that elastic? Oh, there it is. So all I had to do was take out the stitches from these 2 pieces and the elastic and then the back seam. I did the back seam on the tool only. I didn't do it on the elastic. So that's, and then what you do is they stitched it like this. They had the 2 pieces. Here, let me kind of show you. They had the 2 pieces like this. Pretend this is a cut line. And then they just sewed it like this. And just like you do a seam. And as you can see, they have it open, flat open in the back. Like you would iron a seam open. So that's how they had it done. Alright, well, that is it for now. Let me get you back up to me. I look terrible. I took a shower today and I didn't put any makeup on. But anyhow, you have a good day or a good night whenever you're watching this. Please subscribe, click the like channel, leave comments and questions. Bye-bye for now.